Welcome to the journey. Today is going to be a little bit different podcast. I don't have a guest with me today, and I wanted to introduce something to you that I use on a daily practice for myself. As the story goes back a little bit farther, as I was getting ready for today and scheduled time to do a podcast, uh, for a couple different reasons, the guests that I had scheduled for this week were not able to attend, and so as the weekend started unfolding, I just was whatever the topic would be. We'll see what that is, and I thought about a couple different things that I could talk about today and share with the listeners. And kept telling myself, well, something will reveal itself. Uh, Went to bed last night and was praying, and the prayer that I prayed was, God, help me to see or to know what is it that someone may need to hear or know. And so I woke up this morning probably hoping that there was going to be some revelation of what I should speak in. But got up, did my normal stretching and meditation, went down and did my workout in our basement, and then and came back upstairs. And after my workout, went outside. And as I was outside, cooling down from the workout, I also go into that's more my meditation time. And that is when it dawned on me. Uh, that is one of the favorite times of the day for me, is that it's before the day starts. Um, there is the phones aren't ringing, the emails aren't coming in at this point. Um, and I can just either be outside as I was this morning, or I can be inside the house. But there is, well, I want to say silence, but it isn't actually silence because there's always some noise. But in this particular way of directing my attention, being open to the leaves being blown by the wind, a squirrel or a bird, I can notice those things. And for me, my attention usually that gets drawn to something else, and then I have to bring myself back um, to listening to the wind. Because when I listen to the wind, or listen to the birds, or the other animals that may be around, then I know that I'm being just in that moment, just present. Now, for me, as many of you may experience, is that my mind may bounce into to something that happened in the past, or something I'm going to have to do later that day, or some other thought, and then I have to just gently bring myself back to the wind blowing the leaves. Probably the first time I was able to start with the exercise of mindfulness was when I started doing guided imageries. And I started doing guided imagery actually when I was in high school, um, and as I was getting ready for football games as a player, and then when I was getting ready for bodybuilding competitions later on. I use that time period for visualization as well as a space of relaxation. So, what I would like to do today is that I'd like to just be able to introduce to you a script that I did and that I've used for decades now. And I'll walk you through that script. Now, a couple precautionary things. This is not something that if you're driving or doing some type of yard work, this is one of those talks where you can listen to the talk, but when we're doing the guided imagery part, we want to um, not not necessarily do this portion of the talk today, but you can listen to it to kind of get yourself familiar with it. The more familiar you are with the script, more familiar with you are with the exercises, the easier it will be for you to go into that space. Again, as we're going to go through this, there is really no way of doing it wrong. Um, just just by if you do notice that your mind goes off to somewhere, just gently bring it back to the sound of my voice, and then we'll pick up at that space. There is going to be a time period on the journey where we're going to go into a space where you'll only hear the background music, and there will be some silence for a time period. And that is where I want you to be able to just allow yourself to be in that space. If your mind does go to different thoughts, just bring it back. In this particular case, either to my voice or to the background music that you'll gently be hearing. Again, it's this idea of practicing just being present and being mindful. So let's go ahead and begin. And as we begin, when we go ahead and breathe in, breathing in through your nose, holding it, and then breathing out through your mouth is a way of helping our bodies kind of get into that rest and digest space. So we're going to go ahead and begin. If you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and then out. Breathing in and then out. And as you continue breathing in, flex your calves tight and relax. Flexing your thighs tight and release. Flex your lower back tight and relax. Squeezing your shoulder blades back together. Squeeze. And then release. Squeeze your fist tight. And then relax. Squeeze the back of your arms tight. And then relax. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. And then release. Take another deep breath in. And then out. Another deep breath in. And then out. One more in. And then out. Noticing your body getting a little bit heavier and heavier. Sinking into the chair or the floor. Almost as if you're melting into that space. And you notice as you sink into that space that you're at the top of some stairs. Looking at the stairs, noticing all the little fine details. And you slowly and carefully begin to walk down the steps. At the bottom of the stairs, you turn to your right and you notice that there is a path. And it's a path into the woods. You begin to walk in the woods, looking around, noticing a bird, the smells of the woods, the colors of the forest. And up ahead, You see an opening in the trees, and you begin to walk toward that opening. And as you go through the opening, the bright sun and the warmth of the sun hits your face, a cool breeze. You begin to walk in the grass. Notice how it feels in your feet. Notice how it feels in the wind blowing in your face. Up ahead, you see a tree. And as you get closer to that tree, notice that it has a branch that is just the perfect height for you to jump up and grab it and pull yourself up. And you begin to start climbing that tree. And you notice as you're climbing the tree, one hand at a time, one space for your feet to go, that there is no fear. You notice how strong your hands and your legs are as you climb the tree. As you get to the top of the tree, you notice that there's a huge nest. So you pull yourself up and you look inside the nest and you see that there's 3 baby eagles in there. And you notice that they notice you. And they're as curious as you are, just looking at you. Above you, you notice a shadow, and that shadow comes closer, and you notice it's the mother eagle as she lands on the edge of the nest. At first, there's a wave of adrenaline that goes through you, but then you notice that she was also curious. And you get a sense that she motioned for you to jump on her back. And with a wave of excitement and curiosity, you jump on her back. And with powerful wings, she's up in the air. And now you're flying higher and higher and higher. Notice what it feels like to be as light as a feather, the wind blowing in your face, and you can see all around. Allow yourself to be one with the eagle as she glides and soars. As she turns, she begins to come back to the tree. She reaches the tree, she gently to a landing. Once again, you see the 3 baby eagles jump off the mom's back. You smile at them and begin to climb down the tree. Before you go, you look back up at the mother eagle and thanking her for your flight and for the experience. And again, smile at the baby eagles. As you go down the tree, one limb at a time, notice how confident and how strong your body feels as you're descending down the tree. And as you land down in the grass, you begin to walk back toward the woods, noticing the breeze in your face, and the warmth of the sun and the blue sky. As you begin to walk into the opening of the woods, notice the coolness of the shade, the smells, the colors, and you noticed how strong you feel as you're walking through the woods. A little bit straighter, with a little bit more strength. As you get to the stairs, you begin to ascend back up the stairs one step at a time, noticing how strong your legs feel, how sure your body feels. You magically come back into the space where you originally started. You begin to reflect on the journey that you just went on, remembering the stairs in the woods, the warmth of the sun, how it felt to climb the tree, the 3 baby eagles, the excitement as you got on the eagle's back and you flew, and what it was like to soar. Knowing that at any time you can come back to this space by a couple of deep breaths of breathing in through your nose, gently holding it, and then gently breathing back out, that you can come back to this space. And that when you watch the leaves being blown by the wind, you take a deep breath in, knowing that you also can soar like the wind. So gently move your fingers and move your toes and gently open your eyes. That particular script is a script, as I mentioned, that I've been using for an extended period of time for visualizations. It's just a basic script to be able to introduce guided imagery. Um, like many things, the more that you practice it, the easier you'll be able to go into that space. Sometimes it'll be easier than others, but with practice, like everything, you'll be able to go into that state and go into that space, and then just be able to experience and just be able to see whatever that may be. As we know that this is this time period of being able to focus on mental health and mental health awareness for the month of October, that being able to quiet ourselves, being able to be mindful and be present is one of many tools to be able to experience self care and be able to continue allowing yourself to go into that rest and then digest state so your body can heal and heal itself. Again, thank you for being with me today. And we will have some guests coming on in the upcoming episodes, but we also may be doing some more spots just like this. If you do like that, give me some feedback. And also, as I've been learning more about this, if anyone is appreciating what we're doing with the journey, please feel free to make a rating and some comments on wherever you are doing your podcast, wherever you're getting your podcasts, either on iTunes or Google Play or wherever that may be. But if you can do the rating and then give some feedback on what you may like. The type of episodes that you like, that would be great and helpful for us. All right. Thank you very much. And be kind to you so you can be kind to others.